Have you ever seen a country so low-key that the world almost forgot how powerful it really is? A nation larger than any in Africa, sitting on oceans of gas, rivers of oil, and endless golden desert. A place with Roman ruins, Mediterranean coastlines, mountain fortresses, and one of the most mysterious cultures on Earth. Today, we are talking about Algeria, one of the most underestimated countries in the world when many people think of powerful nations. They imagine flashy skylines, giant militaries, or endless media attention. Algeria is different. It rarely shouts. It rarely seeks the spotlight. But behind that silence stands one of Africa's true giants. Algeria is the largest country in Africa by land area and one of the 10 largest countries on Earth. Its territory stretches across more than 2.3 million square kilometers. To understand how massive that is, imagine a country so large that most of it disappears into the Sahara Desert. Around 80% of Algeria is desert land. Yet instead of being weak because of geography, Algeria turned harsh land into strategic power. Beneath its soil lies one of the greatest energy treasures in the world. Algeria holds enormous natural gas reserves, among the top globally, and the largest in Africa. Every single day, huge volumes of natural gas move through pipelines and ports toward Europe. In times of energy crisis, Algeria becomes more than a country. It becomes a lifeline. That is why nations across Europe pay close attention to Algeria. When winter arrives and demand rises, Algeria's gas can keep homes warm, factories running, and economies stable. This is not symbolic power. This is real leverage. And it doesn't stop there. Algeria also possesses major oil reserves, ranking among the strongest producers in Africa. Oil and gas together form the backbone of the national economy. For years, these resources have funded roads, schools, hospitals, and national development. While some countries struggle to survive, Algeria sits on strategic wealth that much of the world depends on. But natural resources alone do not define a nation. Many countries have wealth underground and still fail above ground. Algeria's story is more complex. Despite its desert environment, Algeria developed millions of hectares of farmland. In one of the driest regions on Earth, it built agriculture where many believed little could grow. Algeria is also famous for dates, especially premium varieties exported across Europe, the Middle East, and North America. Some of the finest dates in the world come from Algerian soil. Yet life here is not without challenge. Water scarcity remains one of Algeria's greatest long-term issues. Fresh water is limited, and much of the population depends on underground reserves. In a warming world, every drop matters. This means Algeria must balance wealth from energy with survival through sustainability. Now let's move from economics to daily life. One reason Algeria earns respect across Africa is social welfare. Education has long been heavily supported. Public healthcare systems have helped millions. For many families, the state has played an important role in providing stability. This matters because true strength is not only measured by exports or military power. It is measured by whether ordinary people can build lives with dignity. Now let's travel into Algeria itself, the capital city. Algiers rises above the Mediterranean Sea like a white crown. Many buildings are painted in bright tones that reflect sunlight, giving the city its famous nickname, the White City. Narrow streets wind through old quarters filled with memory. French colonial architecture stands beside Ottoman influences and modern construction. At the heart of old Algiers lies the Kasbah, a historic maze of alleys, stairways, markets, courtyards, and homes layered with centuries of history. Walking there feels like stepping through time. Every wall seems to whisper stories of traders, rebels, artists, and empires. Then there is Oran, Algeria's second great city. A city of music, sea air, and strong identity. Oran is famous for Rai music, a genre born from emotion, struggle, and urban energy. It later influenced artists around the world. Oran shows another side of Algeria. Bold, modern. expressive. Further east stands Constantine, perhaps one of the most dramatic cities in Africa. Built across cliffs and connected by bridges hanging above deep valleys, Constantine looks almost unreal. Ancient stone meets dizzying heights. It is known as the City of Bridges, and once you see it, you understand why. But Algeria's cities are only the beginning. The Sahara dominates the imagination. Endless dunes roll like oceans of gold. Winds reshape landscapes overnight. Silence stretches farther than sound. In some areas, ancient rock art remains carved into stone, revealing human life from thousands of years ago. These images prove that even the harshest lands once held vibrant communities. At night, the Sahara sky becomes something unforgettable. With almost no light pollution, stars explode across the darkness. Many travelers describe it as standing inside the universe itself. Then there are the Atlas Mountains. Forested slopes, villages hidden in valleys, winding roads, and snow in winter. Yes, snow. Many people are shocked to learn that parts of Algeria experience cold mountain climates while others burn under desert heat. Few countries contain such geographic contrast. Now let's talk history. 'Cause Algeria did not become strong by accident. Long before modern borders existed, Berber civilizations lived across this land. Then came Phoenicians, Romans, Byzantines, Arabs, Ottomans, and finally, the French Empire. Algeria became one of France's most prized colonies, but also one of its fiercest battlegrounds. French rule brought exploitation, land seizure, inequality, and cultural suppression. But Algeria never accepted domination quietly. Resistance movements grew stronger across decades. Then came one of the most brutal independence wars of the 20th century. From 1954 to 1962, Algerians fought a bloody struggle for freedom. Villages were destroyed, families torn apart, countless lives lost. Yet the determination of the people did not break. In 1962, Algeria finally won independence. That victory shaped the modern Algerian identity: proud, resilient, deeply protective of sovereignty. It also explains why Algeria often takes independent positions in global politics. This is a country that remembers the price of freedom. After independence, Algeria invested heavily in national development. It nationalized key resources, built institutions, and sought to transform itself from colony to sovereign power. Progress was not always smooth. There were economic difficulties, political tensions, and violent periods. But Algeria endured today. Algeria stands as one of Africa's most influential nations. It has military strength, diplomatic importance, vast resources, and a strategic location linking Africa, Europe, and the Arab world. So why do so few people talk about Algeria? Because Algeria does not market itself loudly. It is not obsessed with global image. It does not chase attention like some nations do. It moves quietly. But quiet power can be the most dangerous kind. Imagine controlling critical gas supplies to Europe. Imagine commanding the largest landmass in Africa. Imagine holding Mediterranean ports, Sahara depths, mountain defense, and centuries of hardened national identity. That is Algeria, a country where Roman ruins meet mosques, where deserts meet coastlines, where old scars created modern strength, where silence hides power. And perhaps that is what makes Algeria so fascinating. It does not need to boast. Its geography speaks. Its history speaks. Its resources speak. Its survival speaks. The world may have underestimated Algeria for years, but slowly that is changing. More people are beginning to realize that behind the calm surface stands one of the most important nations of North Africa. Would you travel to Algeria? Do you think it is Africa's most underrated country? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss the next story about our incredible world.